gentlemen, it's Tank and Trucker, and today we are going to review the Mark 71 Centurion Tier 9 medium tank. So, what do you get with this? Well, we'll start out with 1,720 hit points, which is pretty standard for a Tier 9. Your armor-wise, you get 120 in the front on the hull, 152 on the turret. On the side of the hull, you get 50, and the side of the turret, you get 88. And the rear of the hull, you get 31, and the rear of the turret, you get 88. Now, personally, I would have rather seen the Action X10 turret on there. I like it a lot more, but obviously I don't design the tanks, and I don't know if, for a fact, if this actually was the true turret they used on it, but I just like the Action X turret. One, the looks of it and the armor of it. Turn this down a little bit before I cook myself. So let's take a peek at the gun. It's got a good gun. Rate of fire is 5 rounds per minute. Penetration is awesome. 268 for your standard APCR as your standard round. 210 for your, it's not a HESH round. Both your standard, your secondary and third round are HESH rounds. For your first HESH, you get 210 pen, and your second, you get 105 pen. Average damage on your standard APCR round is 390, and on your HESH rounds is 480. And this is a HESH, can't see with my ugly head in the way, HESH TL37, and this is a HESH TL35. And you'll see in the replay, that's your HESH rounds strictly meant for the rear of tanks, the side of tanks, as long as you don't hit near the tracks, and lightly armored stuff. They don't like spaced armor, and they definitely don't like being around tracks of things, because you hit around the tracks and the tracks eat all the damage. So let's start up top here. The reload time on mine is 10.1 seconds, which for a medium tank, it really kind of sucks. Turret traverse is 38.4, and your traverse speed for the hull is 34.13. So, not the fastest in the world, but, if you got another medium or a light scout that's trying to scout you, circle you, you can keep up with them as long as you have both your hull and your turret turning at the same time. If they knock a track out, your turret, it's going to be iffy. It's probably not going to keep up with a fast scout, and they're going to be able to kind of give you some unwanted butt sex. Gun depression is phenomenal at -10 and +18. Aim time is actually pretty good at 1.96, and your dispersion is 0.3. Average damage per minute is 2311. Now, the crew I have on this is 100% crew working on their first crew skill at about 83 and 84%. Weight is 57.2 tons, so it's not a light tank. I mean, for a medium tank, it is kind of beefy. Engine power, you get a 950 horsepower motor, and your specific power to weight is 18.4, which is actually pretty darn good. Top speed is 40 in forward and 20 in reverse. So, yeah, you get some decent speed, and you'll get up to it pretty quick, and you'll maintain it. Concealment is 14.5, which is actually pretty good for a medium tank. Your view range is 419, which is good, and your signal range is 800, which I don't really pay attention to the radio range, because I'm usually always around other tanks anyways. It's not like, I'm at, way up over here on the map, and the enemy, the other friendly's way over here on the map, so I'm usually pretty close to everybody. To be honest with you, these HESH rounds you'll see in the match, I shot a couple things. One was a 50-51, hit him in the side, and all I can think of, it was pitiful. I think it was like 35 damage. So all I can think of is this track ate all the damage, because it said critical hit too. So more than likely, the track ate all the damage. I did hit a KV-4 in the side of that upper turret, which is the weak spot on the KV-4, and it did a whopping 111 damage. I wasn't able to shoot at any real soft targets with the HESH rounds. I think I said HE, I meant HESH. So I didn't really get to show you guys what a Hesh round can do with 210 pen on a soft target. Obviously on the hard targets, it just barely, I mean, I would have been better off shooting them with a regular HE round, but this comes with two types of Hesh. One with 210 pen and the other had, what did I say, it was 110? Can't even see it with my big grape in the way. If I look over here, 105 pen. So it cuts it in half for the cheap Hesh round. So I imagine if I had hit him with a cheapy Hesh round, it probably wouldn't have done much of crap. Got decent maneuverability, really good gun handling as in the aim time and stuff, but the reload kind of sucks at 10.1 seconds. I mean, that's awful long load time for a medium tank, to be honest with you. And when most of your tier 10s and a lot of your tier 9s, the reload is just a little over 5 seconds, 6 seconds, and this is up there at 10 seconds. You know, it kind of blows. But anyways, if you want to hold on to your seats, I will have the results of, excuse me, we'll do the replay with this tank and show you what she can do. So just hold on, I'll be right back. Hey everybody, this is Swamp, and we're doing a review here, a replay on the Centurion Mk 7.1. When I did this replay, I wanted to try and see how the Hesh rounds worked on this. So basically, your Hesh rounds on here have 210 pen, average damage is 480, and then you get a regular HE round. It's a Hesh round, but with 105 penetration. Excuse me, and then you get a your standard APCR round, which has 268 penetration. And so I wanted to give a little bit of a try on these Hesh rounds to see how they did. Seems like 210 pen and a Hesh round would do awful darn good with penetrating and doing damage, and I found out it's not quite. Kind of like the Hesh rounds in the 183, the harder the target, like when you shoot a T95 with a Hesh round, guaranteed you're only going to do maybe a couple hundred damage in the front. But if you fully penetrate, that'll do 1,700 and some damage, average damage. Where this does 210 pen, average damage is 480. And I shoot one of these tanks here, I think it's this TVP 5051, 62 damage. And I believe that hit him right in the side. So I switched back over to APCR really quick. I couldn't believe that I hit him in the side. All I could think of is his track had to have eaten most of the damage, because it did a critical hit, had to have knocked his track off. But I was pretty astonished that 62 damage was all it did. And I thought, as I was driving up here, I'm thinking, had to have been, you know, a track ate the damage. It's all I could think of. So I thought, well, I'm going to do a couple shots APCR, make sure I get some damage in here, and I'll try the Hesh round with 210 pen again, see what I can do. Was able to get a shot on that object 140 and back off quick. It's always good if you can. Well, that's not good, but if you can get a shot off and get back, you know, if you can trade like I did at first there with hitting him and him not doing anything to me, that's always good. But when you pop out and you take 2 rounds from a 140 and I wasn't paying attention what else is over there, T54 I guess, either that or a 51 there.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So that's a little bit more of a fair trade there too. You know, they I got some damage in there on them and they didn't even get a shot on me.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
I was hoping that that object 140, I think he was attempting to side scrape, but I don't think he knew how.
Enemy is hit.
Got a nice shot on that T54, and this is where he knew there was 3 of us. I think he knew there was 3 of us over here. We all had to been lit. So what he was doing is, I believe, waiting for all 3 of us to shoot. Then he was going to pop out and put a round in us. So I thought, I'm going to pre-aim where he's going to pop out and see what happens. So that's what I did. And you'll see bang bang from the if I can get out here, from the mutts and the MX-30. I believe he thinks all 3 of us shot. He pulls out and I finish him off. So I pre-aim here. You'll see the tanks next to me shoot. I believe they shot, and then I shot. See, boom, boom, and then he pulls out, boom. So I was able to knock the snot out of him. So if he was trying to count rounds, I don't know, maybe he can only count up to 2. And he thought it was 3. It was kind of nice to outsmart him and get pre-aimed in there and take him out when he pulled out to shoot one of us. So one thing about this game is you really got to pay attention to what's going on. If there's 3 tanks there, make sure all 3 fire. So if all 3 of us would have shot, obviously he would have been safe to pull out and put a round in us. But I looked over. This is where your mini-map comes into play. I always reiterate how important your mini-map is. And don't wait till somebody clicks on it. You look, just keep a good eye on it. Every few seconds, take a peek over at it. If you have to, you know, enlarge it. This is as big as it can get. And you can make it so you can see through it better. But I keep mine right about there. And I always keep a good eye on it. I always peek over at it every probably 2 to 3 seconds and look to see what's going on. I looked over and noticed that they had 2 KV4s and IS-7 moving in on our cap. We're beating the crap out of them here, 8-3, and there was no way.
That one didn't go through.
Nice to hit a KV4 and bounce with a round that does 200. What was it? 268 pen. 268 pen, and I bounce off a KV4. Like shit. But it's always, you know, a good idea to keep an eye on that. And I automatically, as soon as I saw that, knew to get my butt back over here and do what I could to help, you know, so they couldn't cap us. I didn't want to lose when we're beating them this bad to them capping out on us.
Enemy armor is hit.
So I just hit him for 369. I know I load a one of the Hesh rounds, premium Hesh rounds here in a minute. I think right here. I figured, hey, if it's going to do any damage, at least, you know, it'd finish him off. But somebody else finished him off. And now I'm preloaded with a Hesh round. And already just smacked that IS-7 and somebody else took him out. I think our Skoda T50 is the one that knocked him out. No, I think he did. So here we go. I got a nice shot on that nice weak 111. 111 on that upper commander's hatch, and it was even sideways. So the Hesh rounds on here, I was starting to get really disappointed in them. So that was the end of the match, and so one Hesh round I shot did, what was that? It was pitiful. It was like, what was it, 35 damage or something? And that one was 111. Yeah, so all I can think of is 210 pen. Sides, as long as you don't hit them in the track. Rear, and, sorry, I'm turning the heater up a little bit. It's starting to get like a popsicle in here. So sides, rears, and backs of turrets and stuff. But definitely even on the KV4, the side of the commander's hatch, because it's huge. I mean, that thing it's like a big tumor on top of the tumor. And still wasn't enough pen to go through with, only did 111 pen. I mean, 111 damage. So, yeah, 210 pen apparently is, I mean, you put 210 pen on a standard round and you could do, you know, I was doing 360 some damage. Well, 268 or whatever it was, but 210 pen on a Hesh round is still not, I mean, it's pitiful. 111 damage on a tier 8 tank. I mean, yeah, the KV4 does have really good armor, but I hit him in the side of that commander's hatch, and I thought, oh, I'm going to just nail him for like 480. And I saw 111 come off, and I was like, what? That's a little disappointing. So, Hesh rounds, you really got to pick and choose what you shoot at. Stick with your French stuff that's really weakly armored, or your German tank destroyers, you know, that have no armor. You know, that's even your Girl 15s with no armor, but make sure you shoot that tinfoil turret. Don't shoot the superstructure on that, because it's, I think it's like 30 armor, but still apparently, even though it's not that much armor, it just makes the Hesh round peter out. So wasn't very happy with the Hesh round results. So you're going to hold on for just a minute. I'll have the replay, or the results for this replay. So you just hold on and I'll be right back. So that's the results of that battle. As you can see, the Hesh rounds on that, they're just like the Hesh rounds on the 183, except for you only get 210 penetration. And yeah, you saw. I mean, I hit that one tank. What was it for like 30 some hit points, and 100 and some hit points on the E4. So if they don't penetrate, they don't do crap. Whereas when I hit, I think it was a TVP with one of the Hesh rounds, it did like 400 and it's quite a bit of damage. I can't remember what the amount was, but anyways, so that was a class 3. I got one of those battle buddies for not doing damage to anybody in the last 50 battles, and a fire for effect. I think that's what that's called, right? Yeah. So object 140, I knocked this fuel tank out, hit him twice for 739. The TVP T51 hit him, knocked out his gun, hit him twice for 517. The first shot was with a Hesh round, I believe, and just those Hesh rounds, if they penetrate, they do a phenomenal amount of damage. But if they don't, obviously you saw they suck. So you gotta they just gotta penetrate. That's what you need. T54 hit him for 617. 2 shots killed him. One of the KV4s hit him for 369, and the other KV4 hit him twice for 338. That was one of them that I hit with a Hesh round. It did like 111 damage or something like that, or might not have been that. I can't quite remember, but it was pretty pitiful. I know that. Came in 4th highest in damage at 2,580 at 2 kills. I got 2nd highest experience, which I was really surprised. I saw the artillery did like 6,000, 4,000, where was it? 4,600 damage. He was actually 10th down on the list on experience. They need to do something about the experience for artillery. I understand a lot of people, you're the black sheep of World of Tanks if you play artillery, but they've got missions that you've got to be you got to be ranked. I think it's in the top 3 or the one I just did. I think I had to be ranked number 1 in damage and in experience, and it is freaking hard because like him, he did 4,672 damage and he's 10th on the list. Whereas I did 2,580 damage and I was 2nd on the list. So, they need to fix that with artillery. I don't like getting hit by arty, and I don't play it a whole lot. But when I do, it's usually for a mission, and it really sucks when, you get that much damage and you're that low on experience. But, I don't know if that's their way of trying to deter you to play artillery or what. But I had 13 shots, 12 hit, 9 pen, 0 splash damage. 2,580 damage. 542 of it was from a distance of more than 300 meters. I got hit twice. They both penetrated. Damaged 5. Destroyed 2. Made 38,874 credits. After they fixed the tank and resupplied the ammo, I made 1,577 credits. Mainly because I shot several, or not several, I think I shot 3 of those Hesh rounds, and they are pretty pricey. I think, let me look real quick. It's interesting to see how much they do cost. Yeah, it's 5,200 credits for 1 Hesh round. Yeah, if you look at it, like when I went through it before, it's 210 pen, does 480 damage average if you penetrate. But yeah, you saw what it did for damage on a couple of those tanks that I hit for 111, and one I think was like, God, was it 40 something? I can't remember what the first shot was, but that was a Hesh round, and it was just laughable. That guy's probably like, what in the hell did he hit me with a spit wad? So anyways, this is Tank Trucker. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button down below. I think it's over there. And subscribe to the channel. I'd like to have you guys join me on my channel here, and you'll get notification if you set it up with the little bell. Every time I make a video, you get a notification saying, Tank Trucker's got a new video out. You got to see it, man. I try and do as many as I can. Try and, make them different. Like I don't do all just tier 10s, or I don't do just tier 2s. I try and get a plethora of different ones for you guys. If there's any tanks you want me to review for you, I pretty much own every one of them. Actually, I do own every one of them except for I think 6 tanks, and those are Clanmore Rewards tanks. I do own the VK7201, but like the 907, 121B, a couple of them like that I don't own. The M60, a couple more. But pretty much I've got 471 in my garage. Yeah, I think it's 471 in my garage. So if there's any tanks you want me to do particularly for you that you are looking at getting and want to know how they are, just shoot me a message in one of the videos, or I've got my email in the description of the channel, and shoot me a message that way, and I'd be more than happy to do it for you. So anyways, you guys be safe, take care, and I'll see you on the battlefield.